All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High and His only begotten Son. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who Reuben teach well. Wa Barakathum to the hopeful elect. All right, today through the Spirit, I want to go into a quick video, entitled Sellouts. I'm just going to put it sellouts because you have a lot of these various different avenues of, you have the red pill community, you have BLM, you have all these various different things that are coming in a format of, and even you have the Christian churches and some of these Israelite groups as well, who come in a format of, they're basically for the people, but it's really working towards another type of agenda. You see a lot of these people that we see set up. Like you recently had the video of the Fresh and Fit guy, the Myron guy, who's talking all types of noise about a lot of Judites in Southern Kingdom, which, Southern Kingdom is through and everything. However, one thing I was able to kind of extrapolate is that when you look into the main, they go into basically men learning how to make money and all that stuff, but ultimately, when you look into a larger, broader scale, you can tell that they're all set up. They're set up to make the man and the woman be against each other, at variance with each other, and have ultimately to have what's the word I'm looking for? Have conflict amongst each other. And also, they're set up to make men want to be top tier, to motivate men to be top tier slaves for Esau Edom, which that's who rules the earth right now. Edomites. These top elite, these top banging families, those little hats, right? And then ultimately these various different dudes, they're pushing Jake to, not only Jake, but everybody to ultimately give in to the image of the beast, and then ultimately to contribute to it. So to be ready to convert to this AI system and teaching them how to teaching them to work all these hours and just be the best person to further this world, to further this age we're in right now of Esau Edom ruling. You see, and ultimately, that's set up. These dudes have these big platforms, and some of these Israelite groups as well, because they're set up. All right, and there's actually a term for it, which this is the term that popped up, but it was really a better term that I've seen before. But it's not. I wasn't able to find it. But let's check this out. It says a term used to negatively describe Martin Luther King, like what he was. You see, and it says right here, it sounds like you're referring to, because this is ChatGPT. Sounds like you're referring to a civil rights messiah, right? And that's what a lot of these guys are. They're set up. And even some of these actors and stuff too, they'll come in a form as if we're all for manhood and all this stuff, or we're all for. They basically play on a certain interest group of people. And Esau used them to get them to further. Esau used certain men to further Esau's agenda, to get people to be distracted also from what's actually going on, right? So however which way a lot of these sellouts are, a lot of these guys are really just set up, you see, and they have an agenda and a purpose they're playing, which really the Most High is allowing Esau to orchestrate, Lord's orchestrating everything, but he's allowing Esau to play that role of being the wicked. So he's setting up particular men to lead Jake astray and lead Israelites to go left, right? But it says some critics, especially during and after the civil rights movement, use the term civil rights messiah to negatively describe MLK as being a manufactured or idealized savior figure for Black Americans, implying that he was propped up by the elite media or the government rather than rising organically from the movement, which, we already know he was. Being in communication with top men that's in high-ranking positions in the government and the president and stuff, okay, there's not gonna be no regular person that's gonna have that type of power. Even what's that one guy? And I'm kind of going all over the place. Let me try and bring everything back together. But you even had that one guy, that Grandmaster J dude. You see, you're not gonna be able to have access to being amongst the president and stuff like that if you're not set up. You see, or be able to be in a presence of people of the caliber a lot of these men are in the presence of. Even when you look at people like Joe Rogan and them, these guys are all set up. You see, is ultimately they're all for helping further Esau's agenda. You see? And I'm going to get a couple of precepts to back that up and then wrap it up. I just want to do a quick video going into that. Because when you look at it, it's all these evils happening, and then you have all these various set up people who are coming, bringing all this stuff to, like, it happens. They're saying things at this moment, right when this war is really kicking off, right when Esau's trying to further the MOTB, right when you have World War, like, we're really already in World War III. We're in the beginning stages of it. You see, you have Trump basically indirectly taxing people more via through the tariffs, so on and so forth. And it's all these distractions going on for people to not be paying attention to it. You see? So ultimately, I'm going to go ahead and go into some precepts on that. Because this has always been going on. There's always been men set up to try and keep people going left, or keep people like not on the right track, or going the wrong way. You see? Now I'm going to go ahead and grab this one right here. I'm going to get a couple of precepts and then, wrap it up. I just wanted to go into a quick vid on this real quick. It's actually in Maccabees. Let's go to 1 Maccabees 1 and check this out. 1 Maccabees 1 and 11, it says, "And in those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen." That's them being set up. You see, a lot of people have high-ranking positions because they're tied in with the top elite. See? It says that around about us, since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. So you have a lot of people that are in that same spirit right now. They're sold out. You see? So they're pushing the agenda of eminism. They're pushing the agenda of, we're all for black people. Or they had a format of Christianity that love for everybody and everybody's equal and we all win and all this stuff. All that stuff is set up to keep people distracted from what's really going on. To keep people from the real truth, what's really happening. Right? And all these guys they're in on it. They know what's going on. These celebrities, these people that are set up in leadership positions know what's going on. They're set up by Esau. See, this is Mark 8 and verse 36. It says, what shall profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Right? And they do all types of, some of them go as deep as doing left-handed rituals on the left-hand side. But ultimately, we understand that they're all sold out. They're all ultimately, they're not ignorant of what's going on. Of the, a lot of them are feds. They're gathering information on particular people to get them set up and stuff like that. And they know what's going on, man. You see? So it's that they're basically selling out to ultimately have glory and have a position on this side. Right? It says, for what shall profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And that's what you do whenever you sell out. You see? You let go of your morals and let go of your beliefs just so you can have, a certain particular power structure and stuff, right? It says, verse 37, it says, what shall a man give in exchange for his own soul? Right? That's what these dudes are doing. They're sellouts. This is this right here. This is a Sirach chapter 20 and verse 29. Presence and gift blind the eyes of the wise and stoppeth up his mouth that he cannot reprove. So they can't speak out against particular things or speak the truth. They're speaking lies. Or they're just coming in a format of like basically wolves in sheep clothing. Right? All right, let's get it. Sheep clothing. Let's get this precept. This Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. They're trying to tapped in with Esau on ways to destroy you. You see, I'm gonna get these off. We ain't gonna have time for these. I want to get this one right here. This is I'm gonna end off with this. This 1 Timothy 6 and verse 9. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into merely foolish and hurtful lust, which drown men in destruction and perdition. You see, guys do that to get the bag. You see, they'll help further Esau Edom's image so they can get that bag. Like you have guys like Dwayne Wade. You have these various different podcasters who are bringing all this stuff, bringing all this drama out so that way you can keep people distracted from what's really going on. And also, a lot of them help promote Esau's stuff. They'll be into guys get into digital currency, the finances going digital, investing, all that, so they can be ultimately help build this this NWO. You're gonna basically bring all your might into helping further this age of Esau, his world. Right? It says, verse 10, it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. So not having money, but loving money. Because when somebody loves money, they'll sacrifice and do all types of things to get it. Whether that means them selling out their people, being feds, come acting like they're for the people and doing all that, so on and so forth, all the sellout stuff, man. Like we just read about, we seen about the Adam 22 guy, which he's Edomite, and he's a sellout. And all them guys are sellouts. They're just set up by Esau. It says, which some have coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows. And that's what a lot of these top celebrities and guys are getting. They're catching their judgment for being sellouts. All that wickedness, all that immoral activity they've done is catching back up to them because the Most High is bringing judgment. And you even see that happening to these Israelite groups, extortion in the body, being on these different outlets, podcasts. So all this sellout activity, the Lord's gonna have a judgment for it, but we are not to be ignorant of that. So we got to see through that. A lot of these guys are straight sellouts, and they're set up to ultimately lead Jake astray or to distract you from what's really going on. All right, but anyways, Lord willing, let's edify. I'd like to end it off by saying, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakadash, the Barn City Apostle, Elders, Great Millstone, Root, Teach Well. Next time, come, Shalom.